Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. For today's review, we're taking a look at the Mafex number 241. This is the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man from Spider-Man No Way Home. You can see the big window box with the figure and all of his accessories, well, most of his accessories, visible right there. The side of the box where you see a picture of Spider-Man in a pose. Then the back of the box, we see a couple more poses of Spider-Man and some of the head portraits that he comes with. Then the other side of the box is just a picture of Spider-Man without his mask. So let's get this box open and take a closer look at everything that he comes with. Alright, so here's Spider-Man out of his packaging, and to start, this guy I know is super controversial upon release because he doesn't really have that nice quality finish that he did via the prototype. I mean, he's very shiny. The shine is not as bad in person as it is on camera, you know, under all the lights. The mask itself, I know a lot of people did not like the No Way Home mask, but the mask is replicated here, you know, to the way it looked in that movie. It's got the silver lenses. It's got the web pattern there. This looks nice. The logo on his chest looks nice. Yeah, there's definitely a difference between the thing we got in hand and then the prototype. I don't know what went wrong with Mafex Factories. The cool thing I will say in person is that he's got like some dark shading throughout the red, which makes it look really nice and kind of tries to give it that premium feel. The paint on mine throughout the silver web lines is very clean, nothing sloppy. The paint on his back for the spider is very clean, nice dark red. The belt is nice. And then you get that like honeycomb basketball texture on the blue parts of the suit, which is a really nice color. And then coming down to the feet, very nice as well. So no complaints there. But yeah, definitely this guy could have looked a lot better. I was hoping it would look exactly like the promo pics, but unfortunately it doesn't. I'm going to spray it with a dull coat when I get that in this Friday and then go from there. But yeah, so for this guy's articulation, which is really awesome, his head looks up about that much, which is perfect for any, you know, wall crawling poses. Looks great. His head looks down about that much. He does have a lot of head tilt, so you can get a lot of that attitude. You get a lot of that, you know, looking back if he's hanging on the wall or something like that. Looks good. For the arms, I know a lot of people don't like how the shoulders are. I don't have a problem with them. I know you can like push them in and then you can actually bring them out to make it look a lot more full, and I think this looks great. So the arms, they go up about this much. Very good. They do rotate all the way around. He does have a butterfly joint, which crosses all the way across his body, which is great. And then going back, they can go all the way in the back. So the articulation that everybody was, you know, everybody's praising the Maximum Spider-Man from Hasbro for, this guy's got it as well. So if you like that articulation, you'll have that here with this guy too. And then you do have a bicep swivel up here, double jointed elbows. And what's really nice is, like, unlike the SH Figure Arts, they did paint one side to be that darker blue, then the other side to be the red. And then you see the little web pattern in between, which is cool. For the torso, you can go back about this far. Of course, you're going to see all that gapping, big gap here, a gap around the actual lower ball joint right there. But it does allow for great articulation. And then having him crunch forward, he crunches forward about that much. Just very, very good. Again, big gap on the back down here, another big gap back there. For the legs, if you don't use a drop down joint, he can do the splits fairly easily. And this is without doing any kind of drop down. When you do use a drop down joint, and maybe they just automatically drop down, like when you have them do the splits, but still looks amazing. No pun intended. Kicking forward, he can kick forward all the way. Like, because his diaper piece is very soft, so he can kick forward all the way. He can kick back. It does kick off to the side, but that's just because of the sculpt. He does have double jointed knees to look nice, and that sculpting is all the way through on the knee. No upper boot swivel, but his foot, and it can detach easily because of an accessory he comes with, goes down about that far, goes up about that far. Then he does have a toe joint. So yeah, this guy can pose incredibly well. So if you wanted to do, you know, some kind of web swinging pose, he can accomplish that no problem. If you wanted to do some kind of, you know, web swinging poses, he can get into that and look very good while doing it. You can even get him crouched up all the way. And I had him balancing on my desk earlier, but I don't know if he'll balance on this mat. Oh, yeah, there he goes. So, yep, you can get him to kind of crouch down and be looking around. So that looks awesome. I think this guy looks great. And the articulation helps further, you know, the playability. So cool. All right, let's get into some of his accessories. So for his accessories, he comes with a bunch of stuff, a lot more than the SH Figuarts. So first off, we're going to take a look at the two Toby sculpt heads that he comes with. This one's just a neutral face, and this looks really, really nice. Like, usually I don't really care for Mafex unmasked head sculpts, but this literally looks exactly like Tobey Maguire. Like, this is wonderful. They even got a little bit of the stubble on his face, and then you see the part of the his suit where it detaches from the mask, which is awesome. And then here's another head sculpt here where he's calmly smiling. And this one doesn't have as much of the stubble, but you could definitely use this as like a, you know, first trilogy Tobey Maguire head. Looks very good as well. And then with that, he comes with the mask that's taken off, has the silver lenses painted, and then there's, you know, no sculpting underneath, but looks good. A lot of their Spider-Men come with this. And then he comes with the device they use to turn Sandman back to normal, which is a really cool accessory. Glad they added that in. Very nicely painted and sculpted, and he can hold this in the opposite of the hands that he comes with. For hands, he comes with a pair of magnetic hands, which is awesome. If you have the original Amazing Spider-Man 2 Deluxe series, then it comes with a magnetic wall, so you could definitely put all three Spider-Men on that wall if you want to. He has a pair of regular wall-crawling hands, and I like how they nailed how his hands look in the suit, where it's like, it kind of looks like he has stubby fingers, but, you know, the ringlets around each finger are pretty prominent, so I think this looks really nice. And then he has a pair of alternate feet with the magnets on the bottom. Look nice. And that's why his feet come off pretty easily. He has a pair of web holding hands, or you can use them as like a thumbs up or pointing to himself hand if you want to. He has a pair of pointing fingers. You can point at a bad guy or point at another Spider-Man. And then he has a pair of these like salute hands, which are pretty cool. I love when they do these like really cool like random accessories. These are awesome. I like this. Gives more personality to the figure. Then he has a pair of web flipping hands, where the fingers are kind of more curled up. Looks nice. Then he's got these. You can use them as like semi-relaxed hands, but you can also use them to hold the mask if you want to. So you kind of put it in there and then you can hold it. It's pretty cool. And the final pair of hands he comes with is a more relaxed pair of hands. I think this one holds this a little bit easier. It's a little bit bigger, but you could also use the smaller ones too to hold this as well if you want to. And then beyond his hands, he comes with a second tray. Which I just noticed that they taped to the bottom of the first one. Give me a second. And we're back. Alright, so the next set of accessories he comes with is this sling ring portal. It's very nicely painted and sculpted. On the camera, it looks darker than it actually is. And actually looks like a different, like more orange or yellowish, sorry, than it actually is. It's more orange and like a cream kind of orange color in this middle part. But Looks cool. It comes with its own, like, it's very flat on the bottom, so it stands up on its own. You don't need to attach a different kind of base or anything. It's pretty cool. I kind of wish they came with, like, a cutout of, like, where he was at, so you can, you know, kind of show him stepping through it. But that's pretty cool to have. And you can use this, you know, with any other figure you have, so to show them kind of showing up. You can even use this with your Deadpool and Wolverine, which I think is pretty cool. Beyond that, he comes with the standard web accessories for Mafex Spider-Man, so he has the one that, you know, you can use either swing, or you can have him, like, shoot a long one if you want to. And then he has a couple that you can actually just attach to his wrist. So he has the smaller one. And these are all clear. And no kind of shading on them or anything. And then he has another longer one. Again, has a little loop for putting it around his wrist. And he comes with another set of the same. So 2 short and 2 long ones, which is pretty par for the course for Mafex Spider-Man. Then the final thing he comes with is a stand. So you get the actual pull right here. And then you get the different clips to put around him. Get the arm. And then you get the actual stand piece right here. Which I don't use Mafex stands, so this doesn't really excite me, but I'm glad that they come with it, you know, in comparison to like SH Figuarts, so they don't give you a stand at all. So yeah, his accessories are good. I don't know what else I would have added in there, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think this is great. Let's take a look at some size comparisons now. So for our first size comparison, here he is standing next to the Mafex Spider-Man, I think it was Far From Home figure that did the black and red suit. And then here he is standing next to the original Amazing Spider-Man 2 Mafex. I have to break this guy out. He's super dusty, but look at how far we've come in terms of engineering for Spider-Man figures with Mafex. Like, that's pretty impressive. But this guy is way taller than Tobey. I don't know if the new Andrew Garfield Spider-Man is going to be way taller than Tobey. But it'll be interesting to see. I'd like to see that. One thing I'd like to make note of is back in the day, I'll just take his head off to show up close, is that with this figure, they did like the frosted, you know, the paint underneath and then the see-through lenses on top, which I thought was really, really cool and really nice. Give this guy a unique look. So I hope that they do that with the upcoming Andrew Garfield figure. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, size-wise, I mean, if you didn't pre-order the new Andrew Garfield, I guess you could use this guy. If the scaling is right, I don't remember from the movie. But yeah, I think him and Andrew Garfield, and then with Tom Holland here, I think they all look good standing next to each other. Pretty cool. And then here he is standing next to a Mafex Marvel Comics Carnage, and then a Mafex comic book Spider-Man. Again, I think these guys pair really well. Surprisingly enough, I think this guy is like a little bit taller than Tobey Maguire, as you can see right there with the legs. But I don't know, is Tobey Maguire like actually pretty short? Is that why they made him pretty small? I don't have the SH Figuarts, so I don't know if that one's small as well. But it's just interesting to note that he's smaller than the classic Spider-Man. But even if you wanted to pair these guys up together to do a Spider-Verse crossover, I think it'd look pretty good. And then to have him next to an import Venom, here he is standing next to the SH Figuarts movie Venom from the first Venom movie. Again, I think the scaling is pretty good. I mean, if you want your Venom to be big and hulking, and this is the one from the Sony universe, so they would definitely go together. Maybe we'll get a Topher Grace Venom from an import company or a third-party company. But so far, I mean, I think this would be a pretty cool look and display. And here he is standing next to another movie figure, if you want to have a full movie figure line. So the Deadpool from the first Deadpool movie. And then here he is standing next to the CT Toys Brown Suit Wolverine. Again, I think these guys look great. If you wanted to have like a whole movie shelf and use this Tobey Maguire versus the SH Figuarts, you definitely could, because they do fit in pretty well. And of course, Deadpool is going to be taller. But yeah, I think this looks good. And last but not least, here he is standing next to the Marvel Legends Iron Man and a Marvel Legends animated series Spider-Man. Again, he's going to be short, but if you want to fudge him into your Marvel Legends display versus the Marvel Legends version of Tobey Maguire, I mean, you could probably make it work through figure photography, figure photography, just posing him up high with the other Spider-Man. But yeah, I think this could work out pretty well too. So for my final thoughts, I love this figure. Like, the way it poses is awesome, and that really is the biggest selling point for me. Like, he looks good, all posed up. He has great articulation. The shininess of the suit is a real big bummer, but at least on mine, the sculpt lines are clean for his webs, and no other major QC issues are present on the figure, so that's good. One thing I will say for sure, I'm definitely going to get a new head sculpt for him when the customs start coming out, and maybe some new web lines if they come out with those. I just never liked the Mafex web lines. But beyond that, I'll definitely give him a dull coat. I did buy 2 of these guys, so giving one of them a dull coat and keeping one just, plain Jane is fine by me, and I can look at the difference between the two. But I do appreciate that they did put some shading, at least on this figure, which is really nice. And they did do a great job in capturing the look and feel of Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, so you don't have to use him for your No Way Home display. You could use him for really anything if you want to. But yeah, I think this guy looks really good, and honestly speaking, I definitely think he's worth picking up. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Did you pick him up? Is the shininess, a turnoff for you? You don't want to spend the money on that. Right now, I think he might be the best Tobey Maguire Spider-Man we have, unless, an in-art version comes along and they give us one, which, at that point, I mean, everybody else should just stop making, movie figures, because they've got it by that point. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day.